I'm calling it out now. There's something suspicious about this David investigation into Celeste's death. It's taken us a while to get the autopsy report, and now that we're starting to learn some details, there's certain things not adding up. Like, why is Celeste's cause of death deferred? Does that mean we can't look into a potential homicide case here because we can't figure out exactly how she died?
About killing people in your music?
This is so convenient for David that her cause of death has been deferred. Now they have to do a further investigation. It could take up to several months for the medical examiner to reveal how she had died. This is scary because if they go on to say that she died of natural causes, does that mean they're not going to look into who stuffed the body into the Tesla? Now, one thing we are learning is that Celeste was not pregnant at the time. Remember, we talked about previous messages from Discord where she admitted to being pregnant with David's baby. I still believe she was pregnant at some point, but they're saying there was no baby womb. Oh God, it's so scary to think about. But there was no womb recovered with the body. But looking at the timeline of when she sent those messages, I would assume that she would have been super pregnant. So something's not lining up. I'll never forget one person told me that they believed that David had pressured her to get rid of the child, something that caused a rift within their relationship. But again, that's just a tip I received in my email. Like I said, David's been active on social media, and I think it's pretty insane that he's a free man. Recently, he commented on a TikTok that's about this investigation, and he wrote, "Okay." He deleted this comment, but maybe he thought he was on a different account. I don't know, but he's keeping up. So, hey, David. Someone said that the fact that he's allowed online is crazy, and I agree. I mean, lately it looks like he's been playing a bunch of Fortnite. If you thought he had any ounce of guilt within him, this is your sign that he doesn't. And I don't know how Fortnite works, but it looks like he's been pretty active. So maybe he's not posting on social media, maybe he's not making any statements about Celeste, but he's enjoying his freedom and playing video games.
That's why I say it so loud. In the back of my mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you. So it's all in the mind because that's
Let's imagine that David is innocent. If I were him, I would not be able to sit at home and play a video game. I would be so sick and just uncomfortable by this entire situation. The fact that he's playing games and, could care less makes me believe he is that psychopath. Somebody said, "I know what he did was bad, but can't a fella play some games in peace?" Really? Someone said, "He's not said anything about the situation, but he's been active on Discord and playing games. He's cooked." Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about what the autopsy report found, because they claimed that Celeste had been dead for weeks. So remember that video we saw of that girl that was, in the balcony of his show in Maryland in August? I'm assuming that's not Celeste, right? Because that was only a couple of weeks before her body was found, and it sounds like they're making it seem like Celeste had been dead for a long time. I mean, her family said they stopped hearing from her in July and August, so it can't be that long. But there's a video clip going viral right now of Celeste running away from home. This particular clip happened at 7 a.m. on March 19th, 2024. Now, Celeste's brother claims that Celeste was going to the movies, but at 7 a.m., that doesn't make sense. Maybe going to school, but clearly she didn't go to school. And in this video clip, you can see her running. Let's take a look at what we're working with. So you can see Celeste right here in white pants, and it looks like a black sweatshirt, maybe the same sweatshirt that they use in her missing persons report. And, she's got a pretty steady pace here. It doesn't seem like this is sped up. She's kind of in a hurry. And again, this is the liquor store. So this is where they're getting this footage from. As you can see, she's now running around the corner. Also, look, more people running. Why is everyone running? But then she kind of slows down a little bit, going back at that normal pace. And we don't see a clear destination that she goes to. We don't see a car that she's picked up in. It really seems like after this next video frame, she's just a missing person, completely gone. And again, this isn't the last sighting of her, but we're just getting a little bit more insight into what her home life was like and how she found herself in this situation where, this grown rapper could come scoop you up and bring you to his home and probably, unfortunately, eventually kill you. There's a reason why Hollywood stars always seem to walk away from scandals untouched. Just like there's a reason why Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury firm. Most regular people, including me, don't have a legal army behind them. And if you're injured in an accident, insurance companies try their best to pay you as little as possible. That is where Morgan & Morgan comes in. With over 1,000 attorneys and 100 offices across the country, they are built to fight for regular people, not corporations. In Florida, a client was offered $350,000 by an insurance company. Morgan & Morgan stepped in and got them $12 million. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome, but these stories are what they do every day. And it's easier than ever. You don't have to deal with those piles of paperwork. You also don't have to pay anything up front. You can even start your claim right now within minutes by using your phone. You could get started by scanning the QR code on the screen using your phone's camera. Remember, the fee is free unless they win. If you ever find yourself injured, then check out Morgan & Morgan. Again, you could start your claim today by scanning the QR code or visiting the link in my description below. It's fast, it's simple, and it could change everything. Now, the liquor store owner who gave us that video clip seems to have known Celeste. His name is Ellie. He works at the liquor store, and it looks like they sell a bunch of things like chips, sodas, and things like that. So Celeste would come in pretty often, and so would other young kids. Ellie said that Celeste wasn't a wild girl by any means. He never heard about any trouble at home. He never saw her in trouble with the law. Though the law claims that she did have a troubled home life, which is why she ran away, but Ellie claims that she seemed like a normal girl. Celeste would come in, buy some soda, some chips, some gum. Ellie says that he gave the footage to her family, Celeste's family, in hopes that it would help them find her. This was the second time that Celeste had ran away from home. We know she ran away in January 2024, but was returned home by police after she was found in Hollywood. Who also lives in the Hollywood area? David.
Beautiful, quiet, shy girl. It's not like from the wild girls. And I shocked when I find out first time when she ran away or missing.
And these images that we've looked at, they're from over a year ago. This is the first time she ran away.
The second time.
Oh, the second time she ran away.
Second time. After they bring her back, second time in March 19, I think.
Now let's talk about why police are saying that Celeste had been dead for several weeks. Police are saying that they don't know a lot, which wake up call, like hello, but they do know for sure that Celeste died and someone had placed her in the front trunk area of David's vehicle, which we all know that. They also say that we know the Tesla had been parked at the location from which it was towed from for several weeks. So it's very likely that Celeste had been dead in that car for weeks before being discovered. Actually, somebody on Twitter brought up some receipts showing the timeline of how long the vehicle had been there. So there's a complaint made on August 26 of the car being abandoned. The caller noted a large dent in the rear, but no mention of an odor. The tow report states nothing of value was seen inside. The photo suggests the car had been left in the same spot for an extended period of time. The initial complaint was called in on August 26. An officer came on the 27th and ticketed it. Then on the 3rd of September, they got another ticket. On the 5th, the car was finally towed to the impound lot. They also note that there was no record of this vehicle being reported stolen, and knowing how close it was to the rental that David had been living in, it doesn't seem like it was stolen. Like if it was stolen, it was only taken a block away. This person on Twitter pointed out, the caller only noted a large dent in the rear, no mention of odor. Was she standing behind the car and another vehicle deliberately hit her, like hence the dent? Where are her legs? Only her head and torso were found. What? Or did a passing car hit the back of the Tesla while it was parked? I think they're trying to figure out exactly when did the Tesla get this dent, but they pointed out a really good note here. This aligns with what I said about the car being in the same spot for over a month. I mentioned before, it's not easy to get a car towed for abandonment in that particular area of the Hollywood Hills because it's not permit parking. I think the car was there since mid-July, maybe even earlier. This could actually prove problematic to investigators because retention from most of the home surveillance system is only 30 days at most. So more like the cameras, the views, the different angles we would get, they would be expired, which her family did note that her messages ended in like July, August. I mean, that's a really big time frame, July to August. But I feel like maybe she had been unalived and left in that Tesla since July, which thinking about the summer heat here in LA, I mean, I could understand why she's probably decomposed that way. The Los Angeles medical examiner has not determined the cause or manner of death, so we don't know for sure if anyone has any criminal culpability for her death. You got me effed up. What are you saying? You're telling me that because you can't prove how she was unalived, you can't then conclude that she was hurt by somebody? I mean, she didn't go and chop herself up and put herself in a frunk of a Tesla. The officers shared that they do have several search warrants for the property, for around the property. David's already out of there. We have no idea where he is. He could have, flee the country.
And on the 5th year, I'm off the grid, living somewhere like on an island with this crazy crib.
The officer said, as far as their relationship, David and Celeste, their relationship goes, it would be premature for me to say anything. So at least they are paying attention to the illegal relationship. It actually looks like the police now are joining forces with the medical examiner office because they can't tell how she had passed away. So they need the cops to kind of fill in some blanks. This is critical because up to now, it hasn't been clearly established whether she died from foul play or other causes. So since the ME can't figure out how she had died, they need the police to go and fill in the gaps, which they should be. I hope they don't just close this up as oh, she died mysteriously and just ended up in a Tesla. The captain is also still processing the Tesla for evidence that includes possible digital or video evidence because Teslas have a bunch of cameras all around them. Speaking of Tesla, they are such advanced vehicles that if there was anything going on with the car, if there was something in the frunk, David would have been notified by this on the app. So they can go back and look at the Tesla app and be like, hey, this is the last time it was turned on. This is when the frunk was opened. These things directly go to his phone. So he can't really act oblivious when it comes to where his Tesla was. Thankfully, they got search warrants for around the Tesla as well. But people have been going around the home up the street to go and look for evidence themselves. And one person actually uncovered a Tesla car key. Their car keys are kind of like a credit card, and somebody found it outside of that Tesla. So it seems like, in my opinion, David did not want anything to do with this vehicle, left it behind, left the keys behind, and just forgot about her. Now, they did share that they are working with authorities and provided the key to them. Thank God, because I think the police need all the help they can get. Now, David's been pretty quiet on social media. He's been playing Fortnite, but he's quiet on social media. I found an interesting short I wanted to watch with you guys. It was David getting back home on September 1st. So this is about a week before his life completely changed and they found Celeste's body. This is actually after he performed with Kali Uchis, which I'm sure Kali is super spooked that she ever even knew this guy. I mean, the collaboration that they had together has been wiped from the internet. So if you didn't know they had a song together, you wouldn't know looking it up because Kali has wiped her hands of David.
Air Canada stuck here. Random bag search, so with nothing in our bags. So now we're currently either getting our bags and going home or going to a private jet where we can also go home. See you guys either in Houston or Detroit. She said go for it.
She's so gangster. Send it.
So we're now doing a private jet for an obscene amount of money, but we're gonna do it for Cali. For you, Cali, we do anything. Te quiero mucho, mi hermana. Arriba, out. David here. We are back with another David Prayers video. I know it's been a minute.
David Prayers video. God, I would like to know what his prayer list looks like.
Just got back from performing at the Kali Uchis concert. Shout out to Kali Uchis. But shout out to Jesus too. Today I'm gonna talk about imposter syndrome as a Christian, especially in my eyes, how I view it. Sometimes, especially me doing.
Oh, so he speaks to Jesus. I don't believe it.
Music and things like that, it kind of gets hard to kind of navigate the bridge between your faith and your flesh. And honestly, just being completely transparent, it gets a little shaky on the walk because there's so many different things going on, and we kind of can't get wrapped up in the ebbs and flows of everyday life, and we got to keep on depending on Jesus, especially in now, the world is crazy, the world crazy. But I just want to say, do not lose hope, do not lose your faith. We arrive on this earth with nothing. We spend our years chasing everything, and then we're going to die with nothing. So just make sure your spiritual hands are full before you leave this earth. Read that Bible, stay in that word, stay inspired, stay prayed up.
Makes me sick, literally sick to my stomach, especially him appropriating Christianity. He has not committed the biggest sin of them all. Well, Allegedly. We will see. I know his lawyer is working overtime, but I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.